All right, joined here now by CBU Ladybucks head coach Sarah Condra. And Coach, talk a little bit first about the road trip. Split 4 games, some good, some bad it looked like as we were watching them back here on the computer, listening or watching online. What about the road trip? Good things, bad things you saw with Samantha Reeves obviously missing after having just unbelievable Player of the Week stats and all. It was tough, but it hopefully will help you long term with the depth that you had to play with her absence.
Yeah, no, I was very proud of our kids overall. I mean, anytime you can go 2-2 on the road without your leading scorer and the third leading scorer in the conference, then you're happy. I mean, I think a lot of times you're happy to split on the road, period.
Right.
And to do it without your leading scorer is big. But, you know, the first game we played at West Al, you know, on Thursday, we lost Sam on Wednesday night. Didn't know we weren't going to have her until afterwards. I think we were kind of in a state of shock, you know, and didn't play well defensively, but came out with a lot of spirit at West Georgia. You know, played really well, moved the ball really well, played well defensively, shot the ball extremely well, and got that win, and then went to Shorter and you know, fought that one out to the very end, and CB made a big play at the end to you know, put us up at the end of the free throws, and then Saturday was just a little bit disappointing as far as the defense was concerned. You know, we scored 68 points.
Right.
You know, that's enough to win. That's enough to win, but we didn't do enough defensively. So, you know, but anytime you can come back 2-2, you're pretty pleased, and we put ourselves in a good position. And tonight we kind of blew it.
Yeah, just you know, as we mentioned before the game, it looked like the energy and the camaraderie, that, you know, cheering each other on and all, and like I had seen before the road trip started, and they knew they had Sam coming back tonight off the bench, you know, from not being able to practice and all, but just things just didn't click for whatever reason. The 2-3 zone the entire game, I don't know whether I've seen anybody do that against us yet, and Coach G threw that out there and struggled, missed some in close shots, but we didn't hit real good from outside either.
No, well, I mean, that's what they did the first time. You know, they played 2-3 game for 2-3 zone for 40 minutes.
Okay.
That's what they've done all year.
I did not realize that.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
And we shot well the first time. And tonight,
on the road,
we didn't. You know, we shot 32%. We shot 42% from 3, which is not bad.
Right.
That's pretty good. But, you know, I don't know how many layups we missed. You know, we missed a ton of layups. We'd give up layups on this end, all right, and then, you know, miss them down here and then give them up on the other end. And you don't win that way. And then you don't win, you know, even when you had a chance. I mean, in the last minute, you know, and you're down. At the one point we were down 1 and we miss a layup, you know, and we miss free throws. And when you miss free throws, it just changed the whole scenario.
Yeah.
And then you don't get the offensive rebound off the free throw line, and it's just poor execution.
Yeah.
And they played well, and unfortunately I thought they played a little bit harder than we did, and they executed well, and they deserved to win the game.
Yeah, lose by 3 and you were 11-17 at the line. I mean, that comes back, but that's not just the free throws. Like I say, there were things that just didn't go otherwise, as you see. But I know it was good to see Sam get back in and get, you know, obviously she's a little out of condition and had to take her out maybe a little more than you will, hopefully down the road. But maybe another day of practice tomorrow, and then get her with more minutes on Saturday, and then have a good full week before you hit your last really road trip of 2 games. Every one of them's big, obviously. I didn't look at any of the other finals, but man, just about everybody's still able to make the top 8, and of course we're sitting in a position, depending on what happens, make the 8, maybe make the top 4 and host.
Yeah, but you gotta.
I know.
You gotta win these at home.
Yeah.
And you gotta play with some type of grit about you to do that. You know, in the last 2 games, I don't think we have. You know, I know the season is a long grind. You know, and you know it's starting to get repetitive as you get into the last half. But the good teams do that. They stay focused. They stay, you know, intense, and we just haven't had that the last 2 games, and we gotta go back to the drawing board and figure out how to do that.
I was going to ask you too, just general question, the scheduling. Do you like it to where, you know, you played Delta early. Now you don't play them till late. You played shorter in West Georgia within a 2-week period. Lee within. I mean, does it matter to you as far as, well, we just played them, so they're familiar with us, they're familiar with them, or it used to be you'd play everybody once all the way through,
right,
and then everybody once all the way through the second half. I just wondered. I thought about that today. The way the schedule is, which would you rather do, or are you sure at this point?
I prefer it the other way. I don't like turning around and doing that. I mean, the scout's easy because
Remember what they did? It was last week.
I don't like it, and there's not a lot that you would change in that 2 weeks, and you watch so much film, and we've got access to every film that everybody plays, so I don't think you're any more prepared. It's just, I don't know, there's not a big reason, but I just don't like it.
Okay. Like I said, I wondered what I was going to ask Coach Nienaber too after the game when I get a chance, what he thought. Let's talk back a little bit on the road, and even tonight too. Rachel Lee really had a good road trip. It seems like she's really playing well coming down the stretch. Needed to pick it up a little bit with Sam out, but had a career high last Saturday, and Rachel looks like she's, even defensively too, she's really playing very good ball right now.
Well, Rachel plays hard. Rachel is one of those players that you got to keep her out there because she plays with such passion, and I absolutely love that about her. She's not the most athletic, but she makes up for that with her hard work. And she didn't play well tonight, but that's unusual. I mean, she still fought hard. She still played well, pretty well defensively. But, like at Lee, she scored 26 points and then holds their leading scorer to 7, and a player that's an all-conference player to 7. She plays both ends.
Right.
And she's smart and she's heady, and she's one of those kids that after losses, she's really upset, and she's, you wish you had a lot more of her.
Right.
Because she's got the heart. She's the type of player that I love to coach because she's kind of got my personality.
Yeah.
And she's never going to give up on any play. And I mean, she may not be perfect, but right, you can count on the fact that she's going to go hard no matter what.
The effort's going to be there.
Right.
Yep. And Maddie foul trouble tonight, obviously, and Blissett was really able to play big against a big team. As you mentioned her in the past too, she just always gives everything she can, and not having Madison in a game like this, I think really hurt. You did the sub in the third quarter there to, I guess, see if there was going to be a spark, and boy, it seemed to click all of a sudden when Kinsey Jones and Emily Reeves got some major minutes tonight and looked good out there. Actually ended up at double digits. Was that trying to light the fire? To see what combination you could get to play? And
I mean, we were dead. I mean, I felt like we weren't playing with much energy, and we weren't doing well defensively, and just trying to light a spark. And I thought they did an excellent job. I thought Emily, Kinsey did a great job coming in. We've got some depth. I've really got to find what the rotation is going to be. And that's, I think right now that's kind of hurting us a little bit, just because we don't have a set rotation, and I've got to find out what that is.
You had injuries earlier that, as things were starting to happen, it seemed like, and then you get some of player two, Kinsey missed early, right as it seemed like she was really starting to pick up the system, and coming in from JC, and then she gets hurt and goes out, and then she's starting to make her way back. Sam is just playing at a different level. She gets hurt and goes out. At least they're coming back. You really haven't lost anybody long term, so it's just like you said, exactly, knock on major wood, sorry.
Knock on some wood.
But it would be tough, I think, because just with those injuries, right as it seems like, I kind of know where the team's going and who I'm playing, injury happens. It does give you depth, but it does give you problems on, like you say, what's your core 7, what's your core 8.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have, you know.
Yeah. Not like we've had several years.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
in years past. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a good problem. But.
You know, we just got to find that consistent lineup that, you know, like one game, you know, you'll have this guard that'll play well off the bench, and you'll think, okay, yeah, here we go, and then, you know, the next game won't play as well, you know, and it's just like we've got to just find that consistency, and you know, I've got to find the lineup and commit to it and give those kids the consistent lineup that we need, and that way they know what they're doing, and they're not sitting there, you know, am I going to play? Am I not going to play?
Right,
you know, and you know, right now we're kind of in that, heck, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't, you know, so that's kind of I think once we can figure it out, I think we can start clicking.
Yeah. Well, like I say, you haven't really faced that up till this year where you've had basically all healthy bodies for the most part. So, you know, it is a challenge for you, I know, even with your veteran experience now that you've had over the years. This is kind of a first-time thing with you. Again, it's a great problem, and you have games left to do, 7 or 8 games left that you can work with it, get in that tournament, hopefully at home, but as long as you can get in, it's at least one more game and hopefully 3 more games, and then see what happens. I think, like you mentioned earlier, I think this thing is anybody could win the tournament this year, no matter what your seeding is. You could see an 8 beating 1. I mean, you just need to get in and then see what happens, how it happens.
Right. Nobody's safe. I mean, it is anybody's ball game, and like I told him, you know, like, you know, we've been fighting to host, but if we start playing like this, then we're going to be fighting just to make it.
Right.
You know, so we got to find some more consistent effort like we've had in the past. You know, but like you said, I mean, it is anybody's ball game. There's not one team that we have left on our schedule that I don't think we can compete with and win.
Right.
You know, so, and that's not what you could have said probably in the past.
Right. No, that's exactly right. So, all right. Well, Coach, want to thank you for stopping by. Like I say, I know it was a tough loss. We want to talk a little bit about the good road trip overall, and then tonight's game, and then get them ready, let them rest a little bit, wear them out maybe a little bit, whatever you need to do tomorrow, and get them ready for
got to figure that out.
For West Al on Saturday. Homecoming should be a big crowd. It's always a fun time.
Right. Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That is Coach Sarah Condra.